A very good afternoon to our esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. We will now be signing the Memorandum of Understanding between ISAS and Brookings India. I'd like to now invite Ambassador Gopinath Pillai, the Chairman of ISAS, and Mr. Vikram Mehta, the Chairman of Brookings India. A round of applause for our guests, please. Our esteemed guests will now say a few words, after which I shall invite the witnesses to the signing.
Good afternoon. When she said esteemed guests, I automatically thought it would be Vikram. But then she looked at me, so I will. First, thank you very much for being here. ISAS is a very small research institute. It's part of the National University of Singapore, funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Ministry of Trade and Industry. We have been around for about 9 years. And in that 9 years, we have been fairly active. Today, what we are going to do is to sign with one of the most prestigious institutions in the world, Brookings. Brookings India is new, but Brookings US is well known in all academic circles. So we're very proud to be associated with them. Those of you who were here in the morning and heard Vikram Mehta, and later you will see the head of their research, Subir, in one of them. They're very, very solid people. And I've invited Vikram to come back and for us to jointly do a session on energy security. In the 9 years that we have been in existence, we are not strictly a research institute only. We are what we call a research institute plus. This is because of the unique position of Singapore. ISAS takes upon itself a little bit of extra, like the South Asian Diaspora Convention. This is something we wanted to do because we felt there was a need to do such thing. There's nobody else in Singapore who could do that. So we decided to do it. We also provide a platform for all South Asian leaders who pass through. So they can have public meetings, they can have closed-door meetings, they can have a workshop, whatever they choose. But we are the provider of the platform where they can communicate to the public in Singapore and through Singapore to other Southeast Asian countries. So we not only do research, we have some research going on Northeast, and you will see that there's a segment where we talk about land connectivity between Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. So there are certain areas of priority for us and certain areas where we do some extra work, and this is one of them. And as I said, I'm very happy that Vikram is signing this on behalf of Brookings India, and I'm very honored to be part of this and to be able to sign. I would like Vikram to say a few words. So Vikram, if you could.
Ambassador Gopinath, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege and an honor for me to be here, not just on the occasion of the signing of this MoU, but because it has given me an opportunity to get to know Ambassador Gopinath and his colleagues, and also to understand better the potential for cooperation between our two countries. Brookings India is a new think tank. It was established legally only a few months back. It has been funded predominantly by Indian business houses. We have several areas of research. Our research agenda has yet to be has yet to be fleshed out in detail, but our intent is to focus on economics, foreign policy, energy, environment, urban issues, the social infrastructure, and also governance. It's a broad slate, and clearly we're not going to be able to address all of them immediately, but that is our hope and that's our intent for the medium and long term. Now, when we focus on economic issues and international issues, security issues, energy issues, there is clearly a synergy, there's clearly a complementarity between what we want to do and what are the issues that this region, this continent, is going to face. It is with that in mind that we in Brookings India, supported entirely by our parent Brookings institution in Washington, D.C., welcome and respond really positively to a partnership between Brookings India and the School of South Asian Studies in Singapore. Our hope, of course, is that we will be able to pool together our experts in both our countries to, at the end of the day, make a difference to the policy decision-making process. Governance in India, governance across the world, I think, has become increasingly complex. And it is not just enough for us as citizens of our respective countries to leave it to the established authorities to govern. They need help. And in India, traditionally, think tanks have not been part of the decision-making process. There is a wall that separates the government, whether it's the bureaucracy or the legislature, and the rest. Think tanks exist. Many great think tanks exist. They do good research. But at the end of the day, the question has been asked, what is the impact of that research on policy? Our hope, and not just Brookings India's hope, but I think the hope of most of the think tanks in India, is to perforate this wall that divides the government, the policymakers from the rest. Our hope is that we will produce research of exemplary quality. The research will be independent of any ideological or partisan thrust, and that it will have an impact. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to just conclude by saying that it's with that endeavor, it is with this backdrop that we believe in Brookings India that this MoU that we are going to sign now is going to help Brookings India actually achieve its purpose of providing a forum for research to address issues that are of contemporary relevance and eventually to hopefully make an impact on the quality of decision-making in our various countries. Thank you very much again, Ambassador Gopinath, for inviting me, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
May I now please invite the witnesses to this signing. Professor Tan Tai Yong, the Director of ISAS, and Mr. Subir Gorkhan, the Director of Research, Brookings India. A round of applause, please. Both parties have agreed to collaborate in 4 research areas: India's strategic interests and postures in trade negotiation, India-China comparative studies, India's strategic and political interface with Southeast Asia, and India's energy security.